Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have a Skyrim mod's Lucky Dip. This is where we'll showcase a few different, completely unrelated mods while hoping that you find at least one or two that you can add to your load order. They're also generally the smaller or simpler mods that will be too short for a single spotlight, so this is a great way for us to show you them. First off, we have realistic outdoor lights. This is a mod that adds lights and fires all around Skyrim. The aim is to light up areas that make sense, whether they're needed to light up store entrances, walkways, or areas of strategic value to the major factions and cities. All of the lights have been hand placed and can be found all over the world, from the biggest cities to the smallest villages. The mod obviously works best alongside a darker night, so their effectiveness is increased, but we think the extra lanterns, candles and other light sources are aesthetically pleasing too. The mod even automatically turns them off during the day and back on again when it's dark. Not all of the lighting is new, in fact the mod also fixes some of the vanilla sources that didn't give off any actual light, like some campfires and fire basins. In terms of compatibility, you probably want to avoid most of the similar mods, like those that only light up bridges or signs, which you'll no longer need with this mod anyway. You also shouldn't have any issues alongside city mods, and it works with the JK, Dawn of and Enhanced City mods. Overall, this is one of those subtle mods that you don't really notice in game, but you'll miss once it's gone. For our second mod, we're taking a step away from the Nexus with a potion replacer. This is a mod that replaces the model of every potion in the game with an animated new one. There isn't a whole lot to say about this except the fact that we really like how they look. The early potions are very simple, and then as potions get more complex, so do the designs. They're especially great if you're playing an alchemist or a mage and have your potions on display. They look much more magical than in vanilla, and it helps set them apart from the standard beverage bottles. So if you like how they look, then you can find a link down below. We're also looking for more mods from outside of the Nexus, so if some of your favourites are on another site exclusively, then let us know what they are down below. Coincidentally, the third mod, similar to our first, also revolves around torchlight. Proper Torch Wield is a very simple mod that changes how everyone holds torches in the game. In vanilla you hold it straight up in your left hand, but with the mod you'll hold it just off to the left. This is helpful for a variety of reasons. The most obvious is that you no longer have to deal with a flame right in front of your character's face. So if you always found the flashing flame annoying, then this is an easy fix. Sometimes your torch could also mess with your depth of field effect in first person, so this is another handy way to fix that problem. Another reason for the mod is that it's just more logical. It makes much more sense not to hold a torch so close to your face, especially when fighting. In real life, if you held a torch in front of your face, you'd be blinded. Skyrim doesn't have super realistic lighting, so that doesn't happen here, but it's still nice to follow the same rules for the sake of realism. As you've seen throughout the video, the way it looks will depend on whether you're using the immersive first person view, the enhanced camera, or just vanilla. We're also using the Hold Your Torch Higher mod too, which changes the third person animation only, and it's a mod the author recommends. Overall, it's a really simple mod and a great way to improve your first person viewing. And finally, the last mod we have for you is the Nordic Equipment Set. The Nordic Wanderer is a male and female heavy armour set. Inspired by the ancient Nord armour, you can find it by travelling south of the Nightgate Inn until you reach the Wanderer's Monument. Then you just need to follow the Eagle's Stair and you'll eventually get your hands on the recipe. Its stats put it just below that of Ebony armour, so it's definitely a late game set. If you're not a fan of the helmet, then you can download an optional Dawnguard inspired version that looks like this. The mod also comes with several options so you can tweak the look of the armour. You can change the metal type so it looks more grey, natural or shiny. These are very subtle changes and you'll probably have to have the video in HD to see the difference, but generally speaking they can help make the armour look more new or worn, and the extra control over the final outcome is always appreciated. On top of that, the mod adds matching one-handed and two-handed weapons that you can also craft using the recipe sheet. The weapon stats are also in the same league, so again they're for the mid to late game. Overall, it's a very well made set, and because of its theme it fits in perfectly in the world of Skyrim, especially if you're using a texture replacer like a Midianborn to bring the vanilla armours onto the same level. And that's it for today's spotlight. If you're interested in any of today's mods, then you can find links to all of them down below. As always, be sure to leave endorsements on any mod you enjoy. If you're in between playthroughs, you can check out g2a.com for some cheap games, and thanks for watching.